לעסוק בדברי Torah,
Yeah.
to soak ourselves in Torah or get busy with Torah. I love it. I love it. I love it. So fabulous to see everybody. Big cuckoo bananas portion this week. Hi, Mara. And oh, look at this we got over here. That's a fabulous people. Curses and blessings and the state of our world. We're going to, be able to, we'll keep the noise right here. We'll take a look at our Torah and so much of what is going on in the Torah and discussion questions, all of it has fingers out, touch points into to our lives today. So we're going to use this opportunity to talk some Torah. So I am going to, here we go. I'm going to share my screen just so we can see some of the text. Boom, boom, boom. All right, here we go. Is it big enough for everybody? Do I need to enlarge this a little bit? Give it a little. Boom. There it is. Look at that. 125%. We were just gonna, jump right in. We're just gonna jump right in because this is an interesting point. Okay. When you enter the land that your God Adonai is giving you as a heritage, and you possess it and settle in it, you shall take some of every first fruit of the soil, which you harvest from the land that your God Adonai is giving you. Put it in the basket and go to the place where your God Adonai will choose to establish the divine name. Somebody just on one foot, in their own words, what's going on here? This is easy peasy one, people. What is going on here?
Just telling us what to do when we enter Israel.
Just do what you do. Yeah, that's right, John. Ben, what else?
Well, I think to sort of admire the wonder of growing these beautiful fruits and things and look at it and take in how beautiful that is, the fruit of the earth.
Okay,
It's an expression
go.
of gratitude.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, there we go. But all right, this is really interesting. This is really interesting. Good. Yes, and okay. Let's just establish a couple of things first. Why do we think that the Torah emphasizes the first, quote unquote, the first of the produce? Why does it emphasize the first of the produce? What do we think? Go ahead, Rebecca.
I had a lemon tree in my backyard, and
Okay.
sometimes the first fruit wasn't always the best. It took a little bit of time to bring out a better piece of fruit. Is that correct?
Okay.
Is that correct?
I wanted to take this to you. Okay, I'm gonna pause.
It feels, yes, right? that was one of the directions that I was going, that often like the first fruits that come from it, they're not like blueberries, right? Like blueberries. They're not always, we planted this blueberry bush and we got our first blueberry. I was like, this is going to be so, it was terrible. This was my face like this, bitter and sour. David, go ahead. I see you're raising your hand and your other hand. This is good.
Okay, got it. I didn't know what it showed. Isn't this contradictory to some of the other commandments to give the unblemished? When you give sacrifice, you give the best. You don't want to give a lame lamb or a lame cow to a blessing, a sin blessing, a purgation, any of those. So I don't think it's because in everyday life or in harvesting and things, what I think we're saying is correct. The first fruit is not the best. But so we're giving not the best fruit and taking the trek to where God tells us to go. So I think
wait, I totally just about interrupted you, but you said something fascinating. Say that again.
We're giving the first fruit that grows, it may not be the best for our taste, but it's irrelevant. We're giving it, it's a miracle the first fruit grew, and we're putting it in a basket and going to wherever God tells us to go and bring it. It's a tribute, it's a contribution. The first one, it's a miracle that things grow. Well,
Is that in contradiction to the point that you were just making, though, about the animals?
Maybe not a contradiction, because for some reason it may be different. You don't want to give a lame animal or a blemished one, because you want to give something that's quote unquote perfect as a tribute to God.
You want me to give a sour blueberry?
Well, it's the first one that grows, and so it's for it to grow out of the ground. It's a miracle, but it's not a miracle. It's because God created it.
So what do we, okay. All right. Before my next questions, I see we got tons of hands over here. I'm going to go Susan, Brad, Merle. Go ahead, Susan.
Well, Mara.
Yeah, I said Susan, Brad, Merle. I said Merle. You think I'm going to forget you, Merle? You are
No,
unforgettable.
I'm thinking about Mara.
So
All right.
I was surprised that the first fruit was bitter. I'm thinking if you want to present something to God for gratitude at the first opportunity. So
Okay.
before you start eating the things yourself, then show this gratitude. Also, the firstborn in humans consecrated, they always so it's the sign of your vigor.
Yeah, like Pigeona Ben.
Yeah. So
Oh.
that's and they have to be redeemed. So it's a kind, and as David pointed out, I thought the same thing too. All the other sacrifices have to be like perfect, the animal sacrifices. But I was surprised that the first fruit is not the best. But maybe it's restraint for people. You don't eat it first, you recognize and it's gratitude and you give to God.
So what would be the sorry, I'm totally sorry. Go ahead, Brad, and then Merle.
Well, that's very interesting, because I'm really struggling with this idea of gratitude here. How is it gratitude when God is telling us where and when and how to do it? I mean, we're being instructed how to do it. So I think this is more a case of reminding the people, I did this for you, and don't you forget it.
Okay, it's coming at it from I like this. It's like, okay, you're telling me how to say thank you, right? You can say thank you. No, but this is what I want for my thank you, as opposed to don't forget who's really in charge. Don't forget who's really in charge here. You think you did that? No, you didn't do that. I did that. So your perspective's got to be a little different there. All right, go, Merle.
I think it's way more than just the fruit itself. I think the fruit indicates whatever it is we're receiving in order to survive. And that gratitude is some way of thanking God for whatever God is doing, has done, or is doing, providing for us.
That's it.
When I read that just now, I wasn't thinking of a real piece of fruit.
Exactly. It's good.
Okay, that's it. I like that. All right, we'll go Rebecca, Pnina, and Ben, and then we got to keep. We just on the first one, but we could stay on the first one for as long as you want.
To Brad's point, people aren't natural givers. I mean, think about how you have to tell children you need to share.
Wow. People are not natural givers. Ugh. Okay. So we're teaching them how to share. These are certain ways that you share. Like, I'm thinking. So I want you to, share your chips or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little broken chip. I'm gonna share that. No, you got to share half of the chips. So maybe that's like God giving us instructions on actually how to share, how to. So okay, I like this. This is a different direction. Good. Who did we say was after Rebecca? Did we say Penina then Ben? Yeah, that's what we said.
Okay, Penina, can you hear me?
Yes, Penina, go ahead.
I guess not. Okay.
Yes, we did hear you.
Okay. I think it's just a matter of a promise that came true. The whole idea was when you get there, this is what you're going to have. It's going to be used, but you got to work at it. Everything is, they had a map. First you have to get in there, okay? If you're not in there, then you're not going to get all this. And after being in the desert for 40 years and then another 40 years, I think the idea of fresh fruit and fresh vegetables would be very, very attractive. So it was a very nice promise. And they were working anyhow in Egypt. They were slaves. So now you're doing it, but you're free. And you're still going to get all this. All it does, and it takes works, but recognize that the promise came true. That's the whole idea.
Okay, go Ben.
Thank you, Rabbi. I think all of these things are true. I think Brad put it well, that it's gratitude, it's appreciation. And for me, that first one is special. I have my own little garden here, not lemon trees, but that the first of the flowers, the first of the fruit, you put all that effort into it and they're special.
Right.
It's the time, it takes 6 months, 9 months. So that first one, even though it might not be the best, but they're very special.
Got you. I like that. Kathleen, go.
Yeah, the first fruit indicates the first of many. And so that is
Say more about that.
That is very, very special. And that does show, giving the first fruit appreciation that there will be more food to come.
As long as you recognize who's helping you to actually create the food. Because if you forget, then that's when the curses start happening. This is okay. Well, if you let's move on to the next one, because I think that last statement has a lot to inform this next line. If you do forget, there are consequences to pay. All right, we're gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna share it. Here we go. Here it is. Share. All right. This next one says, "You shall recite as follows before your God Adonai. My father was a fugitive or a wandering Aramean. He went down to Egypt with meager numbers and sojourned there, but there he became a great and very populous nation." This is when you get to where you go with your first fruits and everything like this. This is what you're supposed to say. My father was a wandering Aramean or a fugitive Aramean. He went down to Egypt with meager numbers and sojourned there, but there he became a great and very populous nation. This is part of the I guess we're calling it a prayer. This is the declaration that you're supposed to make when you give of the fruits. My father was a wandering Aramean. Here you go. All right. Why do we think? Why would this be part of the blessing that the Torah places this like historical declaration about my father at the center of the ritual, right? What does that mean about? Why do we think that's even there? Why not saying thank you, God, but let me tell you about my father? Right. Brad, go.
Well,
and then Mara.
I'm a broken record here because I think it's saying the same thing as we just read, which is
how so?
Remember. It's all about memory. Remember who's boss,
good.
Remember your how you got here.
Okay. Okay, this is wow. All right, go. Keep going. We saw Mara. We're going Mara, then Cindy.
So my translation says that the Hebrew for wandering often means astray.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if we've already been told to have gratitude, and for me, being told to have gratitude also is reminding us of all the other ways we need to behave in order to honor the divine God, then this is telling us, remember all of those ways, all of those behaviors that God has asked us to embrace: kindness, compassion, gratitude, not being judgmental, et cetera, et cetera.
So there could be other ways to do that as well, right? Without invoking the name of our ancestors, right? So let's take a look at what could that connection be. What is the purpose of remembering our ancestors? And maybe let's use the word wandering. What is the purpose of remembering our fathers wandering at this point? We'll go Cindy and then Susan.
Okay, I think it's a way of reflecting your past, that we started out small and then we blossomed into a large population, a big tribe, and that although I'm not sure how they got all the fruits and vegetables, if they brought them with them for 40 years or they were there, but you're starting out small again in the new land, and it's going to thrive and blossom just as you did as a people before.
Okay, good. I like that. Susan, then Pnina.
I also have the translation of wandering as lost or gone astray. And we always, in services, we always praise our forefathers whom we don't know, So here it's a reminding too that a fugitive,
Fugitive. Okay.
Fugitive, which is not a pleasant experience either. It could be a fugitive also from the Arameans who wanted to destroy them, a fugitive from others who might want to destroy the Jews. So we should, remembering persecution or being lost, gone astray, wandering, that we can come out of that because of God's beneficence.
Wow. Okay, so I can even look at that in multiple ways. One, gone astray from what I initially tried to teach this person. So, I'm sorry for my father, sorry for them going astray, but now I'm giving you, I know who's really in charge. I apologize for my father, what he did. So here's for sure. Or like Susan, what you say, it could be fugitive, meaning he's running away, because of persecution. He's always being chased. He's being persecuted. And now here, we will not be persecuted.
What, honey?
We are safe, and it's fabulous and wonderful.
It's Rabbi Eshel.
Why?
Okay. You're on mute. Oh, it's always on
No.
mute.
No, it's Kathleen.
Sweetie.
Okay.
Kathleen.
Okay. Well,
Kathleen needs to mute.
Sorry, I had.
So what I was saying is remember, okay, now you're safe in this place, but don't forget you didn't do this. I did this. Don't forget that in other places your ancestors were not safe. Now here you are safe. Don't forget that. So just okay. So now we're going to go, because that's going to lead me to another hot take. I might make a hot take. I'm not the one with the hot takes, but I might make one. Pnina and then David.
Okay, I'm looking again at the Hebrew grammar. The word Oved Avi with an aleph means lost. If you would have stayed there, you wouldn't be you wouldn't exist. In other words, the other nations are not going to let you be who you are and exist. No matter whether it is that you're going to be believing in their gods or literally physically extinct, because remember he said all the boys that are born to be thrown away to the sea. So the word oved means lost, you be gone. So you are staying in this country, work it and stay there, because this is where you're going to be safe. This is where you're going to exist, because that's what you're going to work. That land and you are connected. And if you are, I always look at the grammar, and it explains exactly what the people who wrote it felt. And many of the explanations that we are given were not even written in Israel at the time. Some of them, the Mishnah was there was one little yeshiva in Jerusalem, not even in Jerusalem, it's Tzfat. They were brought over from foreign nations that they were involved with, whatever it is, Assyrians or later on during wherever people controlled the earth at the time, whether it's the Romans, whether it's the Greeks, whatever. The idea is stay there because that's yours, work it, so you'll be able to survive and work and make it your own by working it. So it's a promise. That's it. Otherwise you will be lost, gone. That's it.
So David and then Rebecca.
Was that a follow-up to your translation at the beginning, Rabbi, where you said wandering, and then on the print you said fugitive? Is what Nina clarifying?
Oved means lost.
Commenting?
Yes, and wandering, fugitive, and lost, like lost their way, or you're going to be
lost.
No, I got you, Penina. I got you. I got you. Yes. Lost your way, or yes. So it's all of those. I mean, it's all of them. You can do it's all of them all at once. Good. Yes. Good question, David. Rebecca, go, and then we're going to keep going.
I've got a note from some other study that we were all in that phrase is in the Haggadah.
That's right.
Yeah, it's in the Haggadah. And what are we doing with the Haggadah? Nachon, exactly, from our Passover story. And now we're, next year in Jerusalem. We've made it back to our promised land. Wonderful, fabulous. So Penina touched on something super interesting, like this idea, even if you take on their gods, their ways, you will still not be seen as one of them. That could be one of the reasons why God's like, don't take on, you're going to go, don't start taking these other people's idols and don't start taking on their ways and don't doing that, stay true to who you are. That could be viewed as, I know what's best. I know what's going to happen if you do that. They're not going to, you think you're going to be a part of them, but they're not. You're not going to be. Or it's, please just don't do that because this is much better for you. Right. I mean, it depends on it. And look, that idea right there is generational, right? We still see that today. We've seen that for hundreds of years. That concept of taking on the values and traditions and the cultures of where we've been moved to, forced to, escape to, then hoping to be recognized as the quote unquote same, and then that turning against you and being like, I told you this was going to happen. So again, this is kind of a hot take, not a hot take. Am I projecting onto the text, or is the text helping to inform my understanding of the world we live in today? Right. All right, Penina, go, and then we're going to move on.
I'm going to make it, I'll try to make it short. It's territorial.
You're going to try? No, you make it short. Don't just try.
All right. If I won't be interrupted, it will be short. Okay. Okay, Rabbi.
Go.
All right. So the thing is that it's always territorial. The Romans conquered the whole world. Why? Because they wanted to get the gate to Africa because of all the treasures and the spices and whatever it is. It was always territorial. The religion was an excuse. The Greeks were the same way. After Alexander the Great died, it was the same way. The general from another place wanted to take over the one who was controlling Egypt because it was the gate to Africa. Africa was spices and whatever it is. So they knew Egypt. The Jews knew Egypt, but it was never territorial with them. They were slaves. So the idea was that the reality of the consequences and the situation wasn't that new when the Bible was written. It wasn't, we found pieces here and there. We tried to make it fit into the era that it was happening. But if you look at all the wars, it was always territorial. The religion was an excuse. Okay, the same thing with when Joan of Arc was fighting whatever it was. Okay, Christianity when it started, there was always wars even there. So we have to be realistic and practical. So if you're not there, you know what happened to us when we were in Europe and we weren't in Israel. Wherever it was convenient for the people to take from us because they were in a bad economic situation, and the excuse was that you are a Jew, we were put to death. And it was always territorial. When they went back and they tried to get back their homes, they were chased away with guns and even the war was over. So
okay,
we need to be practical, realistic,
okay,
and see what happened in order to connect it to those ideas that are in the Bible. It was
got
all
you.
there.
Okay, fabulous. All right, moving on. Here we go. Next one. Next one. There we go. Here we go. We're going to share this. This is interesting here. Look at this. It's kind of was interesting to me based on who we are. Moses and the Levitical priests spoke to all Israel saying, "Silence! Hear, O Israel, today you have become the people of your God Adonai." Moses and the Levitical priests spoke to all Israel saying, "Silence! Hear, O Israel, today you have become the people of your God." Now, what about all the days before that? I thought we were already the people of God. That's what we said that we were the tribes. We were or others say we became a collective people right when we crossed the sea, and we became a nation. What is going on right here? Why specifically do we think to become a people on this day, given all that's happened to us before, right? How is collective identity, right, formed in moments through time as opposed to just over time? What is the point of saying today? What is the point of collective memory being formed, or is collective memory being formed? Maybe I'm making an assumption. Is collective memory formed in moments as opposed to over time?
Both.
Right? Is collective identity formed in moments or over time? Let's go. We're going with Ben, and then Susan. Let's see what we got.
Well, I hate to compare it to when I joined a fraternity in college, but we had all these shared experiences, the pledges, when some of them were tough, some hardship, nothing like 40 years in the desert, but some tough moments. And then it wasn't until we were finally sworn in as full-fledged members of the frat, got our pins, the handshake, then I really felt like it was a new Alpha Phi.
Oh.
So yes, I was a new Alpha Phi as a pledge, but once we were all sworn in together, then you really felt like you were one of the brothers.
Okay. So you had all these experiences, and then it was at that moment that you then became. But what about with with your pledge class? Did you already feel a part of them?
Yeah, no, I felt like we were the brothers, but
Why?
not once. Well, these shared experiences, we were all kind
Okay,
of signed
shared
up for the same thing.
experiences.
But once the official swearing in happened, or this oath, then you're really for life. You were part of that brotherhood.
Got you. Okay, this is I've got interesting questions here. Go Susan, then Merle.
So, yeah, so picking up on what Ben said, I have a similar thing. Where is he speaking? When is he speaking? He's speaking after the 40 years of wandering. And at this moment, he's on a mountaintop and looking over the new land. They're going in. So at this moment, listen, you guys, you are all Israelis, essentially, or you are all children of God. Take over now with this identity. At Sinai, they weren't looking at the promised land. They weren't there yet. They are now in this moment in time. And then interestingly, this plays against Korah, the argument with prior times with Korah. Are the Jews holy because we were all at Sinai, or are we holy? Shall we become holy, or are we already holy?
Okay, that's interesting. Hold on to that thought, because that is going to kind of inform the next couple of verses. Hold on to that thought. I love it. We're going to go Merle, then Rebecca.
I think it's both. I think that we think about the past, and that's how we remember now, and not necessarily the future. But I'm looking at what tonight is for camp. 75 years, and we're starting to show the history. And then I think about now, where camp was myself, my parents, myself, our daughter, and now our grandchildren, who have totally different philosophies about camp than any of us did. So but I think any of this is about then and now, and how we look at what got us to where we are now.
Great. Rebecca,
there were things
then
that
Brad.
my grandparents started us on that we're still doing. But most people, if they don't have that relationship, they don't have the then.
Rebecca.
I'm curious about the word keep silence. Is that what it says in Hebrew?
Let's look. Yes, it's like quiet.
What they weren't quiet at this time? That's what I don't understand.
Maybe they all chit-chatting.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Always got to get the kids to be like, "Hey, you, check it. Put your shins in the air for check it." Like all right. You're listening. You're paying attention. But like, if you really need to right now, you got to really listen. So okay, I understand that some of y'all have been chit chat. But if you're going to listen to anything I have to say, listen to this. Good question. Go, Brad.
Well, what strikes me is that this is an extended speech, right? This whole book is an extended speech.
Yes.
The people then experienced this by listening. We today experience this by reading it. There's a different experience involved. And the fact that we're reading it, that we've read it over centuries and have all kinds of explications of it, that's what's helped formed us as a community. It's the experience of reading, because we weren't there to listen.
Which is also interesting, though, because how do most people experience Torah? By listening.
Well, I don't know about that. Many also
Well, like every
experience
on Shabbat, every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Why are we reading Torah out loud? Right? It's for most of the time, you're not necessarily with a book or whatnot. Now we give people the
well,
book
you are
so
with the
they,
book.
but we give them like the translation or whatnot so they can follow along. But technically, I mean, that's why Mondays and Thursdays, right? We've talked about this. Why Mondays and Thursdays we read Torah, because those are traditional market days. And while you're checking your tomatoes, you're listening to Torah.
But the point is, we're sitting there. We are in terms of the reception of the material.
Yes,
we
right.
are sitting there with a book, and
Correct.
the people then were not with a book.
The book didn't even exist for them yet.
The book did not exist.
Got
it was
you.
experienced strictly auditorily.
Strictly, that was it.
So we have a different experience in terms of receiving the information, and it's that reception that has caused us to form as a people. It's the fact that we've had a book to read, that it's been written down and passed through generations and generations.
Got you. Oh, nice. Good. Merle, thank you, Brad.
I think that, and this is a lot of what Brad was just saying, that I was once told, if you study Torah on your own, just read it, which I know many of us try to do, we get a lot more if we study it as a community.
Right. That's why you all break my noodle every time I'm here. Absolutely. Great, Merle. Thank you. All right. Are we going to keep going? We're going to keep going. Yeah, let's keep going. Okay, let's do it. This is interesting. Let's do, just looking at time, I want to just jump ahead. We're gonna Okay, yes. This is the one we're gonna look at. There we go. Where'd it go? We're gonna do share. And boom, share. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Why am I having sorry, everybody. Technical difficulties. Here we are. Okay. Let's look at 28, 9, and 10. Adonai will establish you as God's holy people, as was sworn to you, if you keep the commandments of your God Adonai and walk in God's ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that Adonai's name is proclaimed over you, and they shall stand in fear of you. What does this say about our relationship to the other? What does this say about our relationship to the other? Right? Because now all of a sudden, like what we were talking about before, is like you may try and take on, but if other people know this too about us, quote unquote, about us, what does this say about our relationship to the other? Ben and then Penina.
Thank you, Rabbi. To me, what jumped out here is the root of anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Stand in fear, equals hate. And boy, I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing. A bit of a curse, I think, that we've had all this anti-Semitism because of what God promised us. Did the rabbi freeze or did I blow him
No,
away with my
no.
comments?
I'm trying. No.
Technical difficulty again, Rabbi, or was it
Yeah.
me or
Or
you?
no, because if it was frozen, it'd be like that. Actually frozen. See? Actually frozen. No, that other one was just me thinking. Let's hear what others have to say. Let's go, Mara. Oh, so sorry. I said Ben. We got Pnina. Then we're gonna go Mara. Then we're gonna go Kathleen. Go ahead, Pnina.
You're muted.
You're muted, Pnina.
Okay, now I can talk. Okay. Okay, I want to tell you something. Bnei Shurun brought 2 soldiers, and one of them was from the Druze a tribe that they are serving in the Israeli army. And they came to speak to the community at Bnei Shurun and showed videos. And what they show was amazing. They show how the farmers in the north are teaching the farmers, the Jordanian people who own land in the area, how to work together to make their produce be better. And you know that Israel came up with this idea that how to do in the desert, how to grow tomatoes. They put plastic over that so they'll sweat back because there is less water there, so it conserves water. They put plastic over it so it will sweat, and the sweat will go back to the earth to make it walkable, so they can grow things in it. So I want to tell you just that the baby tomatoes that you see here in the United States, it's an Israeli.
Okay, but
wait,
all right.
wait.
Now you're a wandering Aramean.
No, I'm not.
Right.
So I'm
Now
going to
you're
show
a
you that.
wandering Aramean.
Right.
No, I'm showing you an example that they're working together. They're teaching survival, growing things in a
So the
desert,
point is,
in a hot land. So the point is that all these things that I teach you, people learned also the same 10 commandments are being used today all over the world. I think. I
but
hope.
what does that have to do? Like,
It
but
has to
okay,
do that
now
it teaches you.
focus.
Excuse me. Let me just finish the sentence. It teaches you that there is a productive way to work together. If they work together with them, to continue be fruitful, to continue to support each other, actually to provide food for one another, everything is going to be okay. It's when they are losing their way, you don't follow the law. If you're not going to be a good person, that you should be an example, then you're not going to have a good life. People are not going to accept bad things.
So, but
And
this is saying that if we follow the commandments,
with the whole
right?
world.
If we walk in God's ways,
Yes.
then all the people of the earth shall see that Adonai's name is proclaimed over you, and they shall stand in fear of you. So if
Not the
we,
fear. I think at least they'll follow the ways of producing instead of destroying. That's it.
right, but we're talking about if we follow the ways of God, if we follow Torah, if we follow these, then people are going to be afraid of us. It's not saying, I don't see what you're saying, that if we follow the ways of God, we're going to all work together and everything's going to be fabulous.
Afraid of God, not afraid of us. Afraid of God.
No, they will stand in fear of you, meaning the people. It's a lowercase
Well,
you.
that's what happened, but that's not what the Torah. Well,
I'm just telling you I'm just reading it right here.
Well,
Okay,
that's
next
the
we're
way I
going Merle, then Kathleen. Oh, Mara, I'm sorry, Mara, then Kathleen.
So I take issue with the translation.
Bring it.
Because the Hebrew is V'yaru mimecha, and that's awe. It's not fear.
Whoa, it's not just awe. Like, it's also dread. Like Yom Kippur, right, where we're supposed to have yirah, which is fun. So I think a couple of years ago, I actually gave a sermon about that word yirah, that it's both fear, dread, and awe, right? So that is fabulous. I think it has to be about context, right? The way that you're going to translate the word. Mara, I love it. It's about context.
What's the evidence that it should be translated fear?
Well, look at what we're talking about, right? We're talking about coming into a land and taking over spaces and curses and blessings, and then if you don't observe faithfully the commandments, then you will be cursed and all this. So it goes back to this idea of we need to put fear. Fear is the motivating factor. At least when we look at before and after. That being said, Mara, I appreciate using it like, you know what, let's look at it all. And then that goes back to with Penina's argument of, they'll be in awe of you. So let's do something together. Mara, appreciate that. That was awesome. Go, Kathleen.
The implication is that we're better than others. And that creates jealousy, especially because we are entering a new land and people have already been there. And so that creates jealousy and murderous intent.
Okay, so but if we follow God, we're going to be fine. Kathleen?
Yes, but it's the others, not the Jewish people. The Jewish people are coming into a land that has other people in it. And according to God or Moses, we will be feared. But fear also creates insecurity in other people and hate and a feeling of inferiority as opposed to superiority.
Like, look who thinks they're so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, Penina. Oh, Rebecca, then Penina.
I'm looking at it differently in that it's a word to promote self-confidence, because here they are going into a foreign land, and how many people are going to try to attack them and take the land back or take over or
it's like a pep talk. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that, Rebecca. I like that. Go, Penina, and then we're going to move on to the last one because I got to make sure we get to it. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. We are still always forgetting that only 70 people went down to Egypt, that tribes were still in Israel. They all had their shares of area and territory. When they came back, they raised the flags of each tribe. They all went back to where was there already.
Yeah.
600,000 came out, but those were people that chose to leave Egypt. They weren't even Jews. Hebrews, that's the word at the time. They came back, they had to raise a flag and join the tribes that already occupied, or not, I wouldn't say occupied, I said live there, that were given already the territory when Abraham came, and there was no one there. He had to dig wells. It was inhabited land. He made it a place where people could live. And the first thing that he did is to teach people hospitality. They said that he had a tent that had 4 openings, that people passed by, and he would feed them right away and send Sarah, we have it, the stories in the Bible, to bake matzah cakes and feed the people and wash their feet. The land was not bare when they came or belongs to anybody else. The tribes were there already. They raised flags, and each tribe member joined the tribe that was there already. And they lived with the other nation. And they prospered when they were walking the land or whatever it is. Also, there were also caravaneers. They were very good in leading caravans and being merchants. And we know that because the word Hebrew means caravaneers that use donkeys and move product and move things around. And that's why they were called Hebrews. It has the archaeology shows that they were already doing business, in other words, and they had stations
Okay,
you know that
got you.
Beersheba was one of the stations. It wasn't just a bare land that they came
No,
to
we got you. Established. Established.
The idea was to live with the other nations in peace by
Yeah,
following the Ten
established.
Commandments. That's it.
Okay, here we go. We're moving on to the next one. Here we go. All right. Now, where? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here it is. This is interesting to me. Concealed acts concern our God Adonai, but with overt acts, it is for us and our children ever to apply all the provisions of this teaching. Concealed acts, concealed things have to do with God. Overt has to do with humans. Concealed with God, revealed, if you will, has to do with humans. So why am I asking you this? Here's the questions I have for you. Why does the Torah, why do you think that we draw a line between hidden and revealed things? Right? What does it suggest about us as humans versus divine mystery, if you will? Right? Our relationship to mystery, humans' relationship to mystery versus humans' relationship to, let's say, revealed, or let's say the overt, right? Well, especially when we think about our own quest and search for knowledge, right? Why mention certain things to be hidden while other things to be revealed? Brad, go.
Well, we can never know what's really in someone else's heart.
Right.
Only God can know that.
So go further with that. Whether it's with somebody else's heart, what about, let's say, what does this have to do? Let's just say, what would this have to do with exploration? What would this statement have to do with scientific research? What would this statement have to do with any kind of experimenting?
Well, I mean, I think those things are all well and good, but there are limits to human understanding.
That's a great one.
Say that again. There is limits to human understanding. And I would say that we have yet to reach that limit. Right? I mean, it goes back to the something that I talk to the kids about all the time, was like, just because we didn't know about molecules and atoms and neutrons and electrons and protons 3,000 years ago, did that mean they didn't exist? No, of course they existed. It wasn't overt to us yet, right? But it was through our own search, our own research. It was that all of a sudden this accidentally perhaps was revealed. So all of a sudden the hiddenness that was divine is now revealed to us, and is it no longer divine because we see it, or now we just have the hidden divine is now a revealed divine? The hidden divine is now go, Susan.
Would you put that back on the screen? I'm also looking in my it's Chaim Torah. I got lost here. It was Deuteronomy 29.
29, 28. I'll put it right back up on the screen.
Then we go into Nitzavim.
Yep.
Okay.
Concealed acts.
We're in the next parsha.
It's just about the next line in.
Well, these are concealed acts, not concealed thoughts or ideas.
Ooh.
And I think that concealed acts can apply to stealing or acts that are forbidden, but stealing not in the public, subversive.
It could also be like, the mystery behind, like like at camp, right? The kids think, oh, this is amazing. Everything, it just happens. And it's so wonderful. Look, we walk into the dining hall, all of a sudden there's grilled cheese. Or I go out to the field and all of a sudden, look, there's a whole program, right? But they don't see all the work that goes into actually getting to that moment. Maybe there's like the behind the scenes, the concealed, and that's like the divine. It's the stuff that you think that you're in charge, but no, I'm doing all these other things. Ooh, that could take us right back to the first fruits idea.
It could, however, I look at this as a warning. This is also
okay.
This is also in the next parsha.
Okay.
Concealed acts are those, I mean, there are prohibitions and warnings. You don't, people, let's say, I mean, they're folk tales with this, Jewish folk tales. Some guy steals from another, or in the vineyards takes what is not his, and he comes back and says, no one saw me, so don't worry, but God sees, and that's what happens.
Yeah, but yes.
So and knows, and I think these are the concealed acts. Financial fraud. That's often not out here. Everybody, look at, I was able to steal from this. Those are concealed acts.
And as Susan so clearly and rightfully and beautifully said, this goes right into next week's parasha. So with that, it's just after 1 o'clock. I want to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Have a good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase.
Thank you.
All right, Shavuot Tov, everyone.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Shavuot Tov, Shavuot Tov.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, Shavuot
Thank you.
Tov. Bye, everybody.